Good morning, everyone. We have such a lively crowd. We're going to give it just another minute before we begin. All right, it's a happening thing here. I hope it's happening where you are at home as we join together this morning to have our Sunday celebration. My name is Celeste. I'm a practitioner here, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Centers for Spiritual Living Minneapolis. Here at this center, actually, let's take a moment and do the phone thing. Silence your phones. Or turn them off. I already did that. Now, here at Centers for Spiritual Living Minneapolis, we have a statement of truth that I'd like to share with you. That there is a powerful good in the universe, greater than we are, and you can consciously use it. We also have a mission, and that mission is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. That is why we gather together in community to commune and know these truths. So what I'd like to do now is introduce Victoria and the James Allen for our first song for the day. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue sky is smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going all so right. Noticing the day hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Oh, never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going all so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Thank you both, and to the James Allen. All right, it is my pleasure now to get us settled into this moment and start us off with a prayer. So if you get yourself comfortable and take a deep breath and shake everything else away, because there's nothing more important than this moment we're in right now, where we gather to be around people that think and feel and live as we do, that consciously choose to say yes to life, and also choose how we're showing up to that life, knowing that we come from that one place, that one power, that one presence that is everywhere present. Everywhere present. That means it's also everywhere present within us, as us, through us. This is the truth I know. This is the truth that we come here to celebrate. And how good it is to know that we have this space. So let us anchor in that feeling of oneness, of truth. It is from this deep place of knowing that I recognize the blessing of our time together today. I recognize the blessing of this space that we've created. I recognize the blessing of the practitioners that hold high watch, the musicians that sing the song of the universe, and the ministers that guide us each day. In particular today, Reverend Debbie, as she talks to us about how to fill that spiritual bank account so that we know that the source of all we need and want is right within us. So let's start saving up, so that we know we can say yes to every experience and know that whatever it is outside of us, it is simply outside of us. There's a deeper truth. It is within us. So I give thanks for this time. I know it unfolds perfectly. It already has unfolded perfectly in the divine mind. So I should expect nothing less. I will let this little prayer be and say, and so it is. All right. Now that I've grounded us, let's together read our group reading. And if you've got your program, it's right inside the program. And say with me, I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and the presence for good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live with my higher form of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. Amen to that. All right. I'd like to invite Colleen up to light our candles. Here at the center, we are based in the knowledge there's one great universal presence. And we acknowledge that there are multiple names and paths to this one which unifies us, not divides us. Please join me as we honor the unifying nature of spiritual thought and experiences as we light the flames of faith, acknowledging all people and all faiths with representation of a few of the more traditional paths. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And we light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now, take a moment, close your eyes, and light that flame within. That space where, as I said, we already know the truth. And it is bright. And it is always present. Oh, and indeed, light always overtakes the dark. And you don't have to warn the dark that light is coming. How good is that? And so it is. All right. Now it is my pleasure to invite Dee Dee for our inspirational reading. Is that correct? Oh, okay. My mistake. Colleen, she's doing double duty. Colleen.
Good morning. Last Sunday, in the center of Reykjavik in Iceland, there was a swan chick that became frozen in the pond that was freezing. And somebody posted in a Facebook group called Birds in Iceland that the swan chick needed rescuing. And what I'm about to read is following the rescue. This is written by a man by the name of S. Bergman. My feed today on Blue Sky included a post from Icelandic writer Hildur Knutsdottir, who saw the original exchange on a Reykjavik Facebook page. Someone posted to say that it appeared a cygnet, a swan chick, was frozen to the ice and dying. As people worried online about how or whether it would be possible to help, naturalist Kirsten Langerbrugger replied to the post saying, "I am on my way with the necessary equipment." Langenberger brought a friend, some thermoses of warm water, and a surfboard in case the ice failed, the necessary equipment, and thawed, then freed the baby swan, which promptly flew off. There are a number of things I appreciate about this story, but it's Langenberger's statement that resonates for me. That is what I aspire to see injury or difficulty or something gone to trouble and decide, I am on my way with the necessary equipment. But also to hold on to the understanding that sometimes the necessary equipment is the resolve to try and a friend who will help. And that sometimes I am the necessary equipment, the friend who shows up to make myself useful under the direction of an expert. There are a lot of moments these days that I find it very, very hard to do the next thing, or indeed to do anything. The world is so, so difficult. I often feel useless or overwhelmed or exhausted or just really effing sad. But I am going to try starting the days by saying with all the starch that I imagine a naturalist willing to chance the ice and darkness to save a baby bird might possess, I am on my way with the necessary equipment.
All right. Please welcome again Victoria and the James Allen.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I think I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Please welcome Reverend Debbie.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. A December to remember. That's what this is all about this month. That's what we're talking about. And, you know, there was all of this hype before Thanksgiving about how short the Christmas period was going to be, right? Like there's like a really short window between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that window for me has become so long. It's like, come on, you guys. It's like a little over 3 weeks, but how much fun has it been, right? So I started the season saying I wasn't really going to decorate for Christmas, but every afternoon Jeff comes upstairs and like there's some more Christmas out. I don't know, I just can't help it. By the time Christmas gets here, every box will be empty. So today's talk was totally inspired by that reading. I've got all the necessary equipment. You know, we do. Each and every one of us does. So the original idea of the talk was your savings account, your Christmas club. Anybody remember a Christmas club? My folks had a Christmas club. They had a vacation club. They had like, you know, we're going to tuck a little money away. And remember layaways, right? So that's pretty much all a thing of the past. But it's still important, I believe, for us to remember our spiritual tools and to keep them well sharpened and polished and allow ourselves to sort of build up during the good times that spiritual muscle that we kind of sometimes need to be a little stronger in the not so good times. Ernest Holmes in Living the Science of Mind wrote about having money available. How comfortable it makes us feel to have a good fat checking account and an account big enough to draw on in emergencies without impoverishing us when it comes to paying for our ordinary needs. Let's talk about another kind of account, which is equally important. We are calling it our spiritual bank account because we believe there are real spiritual forces that we can draw on and deposit in our own minds, which can be used in any emergency, in any stress, or any strain in life. I love that idea, that we can build it up. We can build up those muscles till we get to a point where we can remember our truth, even when we're stressing out. There's a bad joke about a guy he's just praying, Lord, let me win the lottery. Just come on, I want to win the lottery. And a booming voice shows up in his head saying, meet me halfway, buy a ticket. Right? Sometimes we're like that. You know, we forget that we've already got everything that we need to make it through everything. Because we're so in need of creating a miracle. We want that miracle, but we have, each of us, everybody has exactly what they need to create, to manifest that miracle, whatever it is. But we need to access it. We need to remember that it's there. And just like a financial account, when we have a robust spiritual account, a robust spiritual way of approaching life, then we have all of the necessary equipment. We really do. We've got all of it. We've got so much necessary equipment that we can, too, take it to the streets and share it. Because when we live life from that place of knowing that we are enough and we have enough and there will always be enough, more than enough, then we get to have a realization that God is truly the only power. And that each of us, everyone is an individualized expression of it. And because it's all God, there is always something greater moving. And I think we've all had periods in our life where it's like, why is this happening to me? But then we get to the other side and we're like, I can see why it's happening to me. Why I was the necessary equipment that had to make this happen for the next thing to happen. There's a story of a guy in the early 20th century, and you might have heard of him, George Washington Carver. He was a slave, and he literally revolutionized agriculture as it was known then. There was a blight that happened. The boll weevil hit the cotton fields, right, of the South. And everybody was sort of like trying to figure out what to do next. And Carver, he had a really strong sense of nature and of God. And he was very devoted to his spiritual practice. And he would spend time in prayer and meditation, just asking God for direction and for guidance. And one day, he asked about peanuts. He's like, there's got to be something more we can do about peanuts to make peanuts a valuable crop in the South. And he discovered, through his practice, he wrote about 300 different uses for peanuts, different ways that peanuts could be used to make them a more viable product. Now remember, you guys, this was like, in the earliest 20th century, so Skippy and Jeff weren't around. They hadn't been here yet. So, but in his prayer work, he was guided to the idea of rotating crops, to preserve the soil, to enrich the soil. And when you rotated crops, not only did you enrich the soil, but you increased the productivity of whatever crop you were putting there. And it all came to him from prayer. I mean, he was just open to the idea there's got to be something more, something greater happening right here. And so, even in today's world, we rotate crops. In fact, now, not only do we rotate crops, but the latest trend is you take a part of your field and you plant wildflowers on it, whatever native species is in your world, and you allow that to spend a couple of years really, truly feeding that soil. It's all about taking an obstacle and saying to yourself, there is a possibility here. There's a reason, and I don't need to know what the reason is. I just need to know that each and every one of us, has the necessary equipment to move through it, rise above it, and get busy helping others. We do that by recognizing God as the only power. We do that by seeing God in everyone. And by remembering there is something greater moving that we're not aware of. From recognizing God, that is the first place where we go in spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer. It's the first thing we do. And if the only thing you do from a prayer perspective is to recognize that not only is there just one power, one presence, one source, that includes oneself, and say thank you, that's all one needs really to do in a prayer. But that idea of there's only one, when we do that, and we really get there, then there can be no room for fear. Because fear is when we're feeling separated from the one. You can't be in a fearful state and totally know that you are divine expression of the one, the only one. Who was it that said the two most important words in the American language? Oh, Goldsmith, is as and is. As and is. God as me is abundant. God as me is healthy. God as me is. God as me is never fearful or worried or doubtful or lacking of anything. God as me is always available with all of the needed equipment. That includes faith. In trusting that divine wisdom and the divine timing of it all. Intuition by listening. Really listening, not to the stuff out there, but to what's in here. And it's about courage to know that whatever it is we're facing it with the best partner anyone could ever ask for. Hafiz said, "Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you live in better conditions." Which takes me to that idea of seeing God in everyone and everything, embracing our oneness. It means finding the divine in whatever situation we're experiencing, finding the divine in whoever is pushing our button. Not that anyone would ever do that, especially during the holiday season, but just in case, right? When there is someone who's frustrating me, I do two things. I first give thanks that they're not part of my family, right? And I recognize that God is too in this person. I may not see it. I don't need to see it. I just need to know it and allow myself to breathe and come to the situation from that place of clarity, that place of love, of empathy, of understanding. That place of being willing to not need to control this individual. I don't even, they're not part of the family. I don't even have to, may not have to see them again. But whether we're interacting with a loved one or a stranger or a neighbor, they're always going to push a button. We get to decide how we react. And when we react from a place of knowing that this too is the divine expressing itself in a somewhat different way, but it's the truth. Our spiritual equipment, when we come to that place of understanding that we are truly all one, it brings out compassion by seeing the divine. It brings out patience by just allowing space for the other to say and do what they're going to say and do. And it also allows us to bring in the equipment of forgiveness, because we move out of judgment then. We don't need to judge someone. If we're all one, we just need to breathe and embrace the fact that there is something greater happening. Wayne Dyer said, "When you begin to see God in everyone, you will treat everyone differently." Ernest Holmes, "A realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man." The realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known. Just recognizing that. And then life is kind of full of surprises, right? Some of them really fun, some of them really challenging. But when we trust that the bigger picture, that there is something greater moving in that bigger picture, when we look back, it's going to reveal how wonderfully Spirit was expressing and moving itself. It allows those setbacks to carry a divine purpose, doesn't it? It really does. Today is my wedding anniversary. And I'm reminded of the fact that when Jeff and I reconnected, we were both having some challenges. We were sort of in miserable relationships, and we didn't necessarily like the way life was unfolding for either one of us. And it had gotten so bad that we were both willing to take action. And when we realized, at least for me, when I realized I was ready to take action, and all of a sudden an email showed up, and it's like, I'm going to Vegas. Would you like to meet me for dinner one night? It's only a 5-hour drive. But the idea was there was something greater moving. My life had to get really, really crappy for me to get to the realization that this is crappy and I'm ready for something better. Something is always moving for our greater good, whether we can see it or not, and most of the time, we can't. But when we start to embrace life from a place of knowing our power and our divinity, of knowing that we're worthy, we don't put up with stuff for as long. We are willing to be open and curious. We're willing to let go. We're willing to allow God's space to move. Our spiritual equipment that this brings into action is our resiliency. Bouncing back, even when we don't think we can. But we know we've got the tools, we've got the community that can support us. Resiliency. We allow ourselves to have gratitude. Gratitude for what we have, gratitude for what we're willing to let go of. And there's the equipment of openness that allows us to welcome whatever the possibilities are that are going to show up next, because it will show up. Nancy Thayer wrote, "The universe is always speaking to us, sending us little messages, causing coincidences, the serendipities, reminding us to stop, to look around, to believe in something else, to believe in something more." Something more. Emma Curtis Hopkins, a mystic in her own right, would say when things are looking their worst, look up. Just 45-degree angle up and just be quiet and look up. Change your perspective. Change. Let go of your need to control and just look up. And you just look up until you feel that shift. That shift in what is truly happening beyond the scene, beyond what we can see, what we can know, what we can touch. Just look up. So, we already have all of our spiritual tools. We already have all of the necessary equipment. And the way we build up that spiritual account is through daily spiritual practice, through prayers and affirmations and visualization. And you probably think, gosh, does she say this every time she talks? Yes, I do. Because it is important. It is important that we have a daily spiritual practice, that we recognize that we ourselves can provide acts of service daily. We can do good in the world daily. We could do good in our life daily. We can give of our time, our talent, our treasures, our love, our energy, our joy. We can just open up our hearts and listen to people. Just listen. We can start our day coming from a place of an abundant life, a place filled with gratitude and grace. Just not only allowing grace into our lives, but being that grace to someone else. This teaching, this philosophy, does not guarantee that life is going to always go well, that there will not be challenges, there will not be troubles and pain and sadness. There will not be times when we don't feel stuck. This teaching doesn't guarantee any of that. But here's what it does guarantee. It guarantees us a way to look at whatever is going on. a way to be with whatever is going on, and to a way to approach whatever is going on from that place of grace, of love, of courage, of forgiveness. That place of oneness with the one. That is what this teaching guarantees us. When we have a spiritual practice, that's what that spiritual practice guarantees us. It guarantees us that things will be a little lighter, a little brighter. They won't last quite as long. That the right action and the right reaction is available to make whatever it is that's going on just a little better. And sometimes that's all we need, is just a little better, a little more willing. This teaching guarantees us that we can look at whatever it is from a higher perspective and not get caught up in the muck of it all, but to allow that inner divine light to suit up and show up. So this week, I invite all of us to remember that we have all of the necessary equipment. Each and every one of us has everything we need to be an instrument of peace, of joy, of love. Each of us has more than enough to help others, to raise others, and to feed some really good mojo into our collective consciousness. Just by being who we are. Just by letting go of having to control it, fix it, change it, and say, okay, I'm going to look up. And I'm going to listen. And then I'll act. Because when we do that, when we rise above it all, we tap into that equipment that's ours, then we are enough. I am enough. I have enough. I am one with the infinite. And that is the truth for every single person. Every single person on this planet. So, this week, your assignment is to go out and make some spiritual deposits in other people's accounts. You know? Be an instrument of peace, an instrument of love. Just be present. That's all. Just be present. The world needs us to be more present. Our souls need us to be more present. And to remember, we are so much more than just enough. That's our truth. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Debbie. That was a great talk. And now, Victoria and James Allen.
I am the child of this universe. I'm sorry, can we pause one time for me? Thank you. I was pulling up my lyrics. I was like, I know this. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. No. So hold on just 1 second. You have all the necessary equipment. So I do have all the necessary equipment. Okay. All right. Let me see. Where did it go? Oh, here we are. Okay. I was like, oh, what's going to happen? Am I going to have all this? No. All right. Okay, let's try that again. I am a child of this universe. The ocean dances at my feet. The wind plays a melody through my hair. I am loved at every turn. I am kissed by Mother Earth. Yes, I am a child of this universe. The sun warms me in its embrace. The stars have aligned for me in the sky. I am honored by all life. I am held by Father Time. Every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top sings of the glory of God moving through me. I am a child of this universe. Through my breath, all of life can breathe. I plant the seeds with my every dream. I can love at every turn. Give a kiss to Mother Earth. Yes, I am a child of this universe. I greet the God in each face. I am a channel for seeds to grow. Oh, I honor all of life. Yes, I'm one with Father Time. To every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top, sing of the glory of God moving through all, moving as me, moving as you, moving, moving.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
You mean once I found the words?
Well,
Sorry.
you know, the funny thing is, as many times as I do this, I still have a moment of stage fright when I first start. Like, I can know it like the back of my hand. And quite frankly, I've been giving a lot of love to the James Allen, but you know he only sounds as good as he does because of you. So thank you so much.
Well, and I only sound like I do because he's here.
Okay, it's a joint effort. Oh, speaking of a joint effort, knowing that there is enough. Well, first, let me say thank you again. That was a great talk, and which leads us into this idea of that spiritual bank account. And one of the ways in which we fill that spiritual bank account is giving from a place of love to where we are spiritually fed. I know I'm spiritually fed here, and I know that it is this place and this connection that keeps me going in my everyday world. So it's that time for you to give from that place of love and a place of there is enough. That's a really important part of the equation. Not only is there enough, but there's enough to spare and share. So take whatever gift you have. I give online. And for you online, if you'd like to donate, please cslminneapolis.org. And just hold that idea. There's more where that came from. And my favorite little prayer around this is, this gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. Let me say that again. Joy, confidence, and ease. For I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving, and I now share this good with life. pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you again for the support of this community and our ability to show up and say yes to you, because we know that we are one. All right, so you've given your gift. Now it's time for our gift to you. And that's the gift of knowing that we have practitioners and ministers that hold high watch for this community. That's an Emma Curtis, holding high watch, knowing at all times the truth of each and every one of us, always remembering who you really are. Oh, you know, that's what enlightenment is, by the way. It's lessening the distance from when you forget who you really are to when you remember. The shorter that distance, that's what enlightenment. You're always enlightened. Sometimes you forget. So let us help you remember. There are many ways to do that. You can pull one of us aside. There are a few here. Colleen, Reverend Joanne, Dee Dee, Sue, Jeff, Reverend Debbie, myself. Did I forget anybody? Oh, okay. You can sit down with us, and we can know the truth for you. You can also fill out a prayer request and place it in the bin, and we'll get the whole team working on it. You can also ask for a prayer request online. And you not only leave your request online, but you can request to be contacted and hear that voice on the other side of the line to remind you who you really are. So please take advantage of that, especially during these times. Let us help you remember who you really are. Good. All right. Now it's time for some announcements, and I think Mr. Marv needed a moment. Please come up.
He was born to show the way, to live each and every day. On that Christmas night, he brought the light. He was born to show the way. What a scene that Christmas night. Well, the star was shining bright. Christ was laying, they say, in mangers hay. It was such a wondrous sight. He was born to show the way, to live each and every day. On that Christmas night, he brought the light. He was born to show the way. Angels singing filled the air. Peace was flowing everywhere. Then the shepherds came to praise his name, and they left without a care. He was born to show the way, to live each and every day. On that Christmas night, he brought the light. He was born to show the way. Mary's heart was filled with love, giving thanks to God above, for her little boy brought so much joy. with his overflowing love. He was born to show the way, to live each and every day. On that Christmas night, he brought the light. He was born to show the way. When he grew to be a man, he explained to us God's plan. If we let love flow, our souls will grow, and we will be all we can. He was born to show the way, to live each and every day. On that Christmas night, he brought the light. He was born to show the way.
Thank you, Marv. That was beautiful. All right. Anthony, would you come up and share a little bit about your store? I'll get you.
So as you know, I have a pop-up store going through Christmas, so another 6-7 days of shopping available. If you would like to stop by, have some great items. Also have some great items that our great singer Victoria has provided for the shop as well. So come on and check it out while you can. Town Square, St. Paul, downtown, 445 Minnesota Street, Monday through Friday, 10 to 2.
All right. And Reverend Debbie has a couple of announcements.
Actually, I have a couple of invitations. So we are going to do a Zoom class based on the book This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. It's going to be 6 weeks. It's $35. It's on Thursday nights, I think. I don't know what night it's on. But it's Thursday nights.
There's information back there.
Yeah. And there's information on the website. I'm sorry, I can't. It's not until next month, you guys, so we got time. Yeah, we're starting on the 23rd. It's going to be so fun, and it's really going to be fun. So that's what I know. And it's going to allow us to get to know each other better. So I'm hoping everybody can join us. And then after service, during fellowship today, we get to make Christmas ornaments. All right? Yeah, they're going to be a little cheesy, but it's good. It's good. It's really good. Anyway, there's all the stuff you need to fill an ornament full of goodness. Take one home. Take a second one to give away to somebody. It's going to be way fun. So, and we also have a Yule log to celebrate December birthdays. Any December birthdays in the house? No December birthdays in the house? I'm sure there is online. So we're going to be eating cake for you. And that's what I know.
Whose mother, who just made her transition, would have been 90 today.
Oh, yes, there you go. There is a December birthday. Sue Hooper's mama. Yeah, that counts. Yeah. So anyway, please join us for fellowship. Join us for making some ornaments and some laughter and some fun. And next Sunday, I promise you I'll know what day the class is on.
All right. And one more announcement from Julie.
Hi, guys. So Pete and I did the delivery of the gifts yesterday. Well, we did it a couple days before, but anyways, we went there, volunteered. Pete recognized some of our stuff and so on to give away to the families. We did a lot of balls. The kids loved it. We met nice people. It was really a fun experience. I definitely recommend if you guys want to come next year or anybody's interested. Your stuff is so needed. And they had, 400 families coming through? That many. And the need this year, too, she had said in PRISM, over 60% are new people coming in just this year. So constant need that they have. And they did a beautiful presentation, great food there, little snackies, and they just made it a lot of fun. And we really enjoyed it, didn't we, Pete? Yeah. So, yeah. And the big thank you. Your stuff was needed, grabbed up by families that need it, and the stuff that they had. I mean, very, very generous. That was the fun thing to see. I mean, they would come and had cartfuls of stuff, for 6 kids, and they would leave with a number of cartfuls of stuff. So that was really fun to see too. But thank you all. Yeah, they need it, So anyways, cute families that really had the need. Thank you so much.
Well, and thank you guys for showing up and helping us fulfill that that joyous thing of giving. Because, it's not just the gift itself. When you give, one of the other things that comes out of it is the gift of hope. So thank you for what you did. All right. I am going to pray us out. Reverend Joanne is going to bless us out because we all need that blessing. And then we're going to get sung out. So, unless there's anything else, settle into that seat one more time. And just take a deep breath. And remember this feeling. It feels good. It always feels good when you hear the truth. Sometimes it's hard, but there's always this feeling of relief. There's always this feeling of recognition, of validation. So, drop down into that space where we already know that truth. We already know it's all one, and there is no other. And the gifts we give, we're giving to ourselves for the other. So let us anchor in that knowing that not only is there enough, but that enoughness lives within us, each of us. And as Reverend Debbie said, let us not live in the cheapest room in the house. Let's fill ourselves up spiritually with that truth. That if God is all there is, that means everything I could ever need, want, or wish to give is provided. God is my source. Let us look up. And then let our eyes fall upon our good. And let us know that there is movement in the unseen for our highest good. And we're always divinely guided and divinely inspired. And that connection, that knowingness, is the pathway, is the conduit to invoke the exact tool needed in exactly the right time, with exactly the right words. Let us know that there really is only 2 emotions. There's love and fear. Let us live from a place of love. because they can't occupy the same space in time. For this and more, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for this community. I'm so grateful for the constant reminders of who I really am, so that I can show up and remember who you really are. I give thanks. I call it done and done well. And I say, and so it is.
And I'll leave you with this blessing. May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Hey, let's all stand up. So this tune, this is Singing in My Soul. I modified the words a little bit so it fits the holiday season. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the heart of winter, where cold cuts the bone, I walk the path less traveled, but I'm not alone. There's a fire deep within, though the night is dark and long. A whisper in silence into a sacred song. Oh, I'm singing. Yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the trouble rolls, oh, I sing from morn to night. It makes my burdens light. I'm singing, yeah, I'm singing in my soul. The stars are faint but steady, high above the frost. They remind of a promise no soul is ever lost. Through the trials, I can feel the embers glow. A resurgence of spirit, and it's singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the troubles roll, I sing from morn to night. It makes my burdens light, and I'm singing, yeah, singing in my soul. Singing in my soul. When the troubles roll, I sing from morn till night. It makes my burdens light, and I'm singing, yeah, singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing, yeah, singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing, yeah, I'm singing in my soul.